Okay, well, good afternoon and welcome to the Community Outcomes meeting for December. My name is Mark Burns-Williamson, Police and Crime Commissioner for West Yorkshire, and I'd just like to ask for introductions, please.
John Robbins, Chief Constable.
Catherine Henderson, OCC Local Policing and Safeguarding.
Afternoon, Richard Crignell, Deputy Superintendent in the Professional Service Department.
Damien Miller, Chief Superintendent, Head of Corporate Services.
James Sykes, the Interim Chief Executive Officer of the Police and Crime Commissioner.
Thank you very much. Thank you for being here this afternoon. So we have notes of the previous meeting held on the 8th of October. I think just in relation to the actions, they've either all been completed or ongoing, so I don't intend to get into any further detail on those actions. Obviously, we've got the previous minutes. I've got nothing else to raise on those. Thank you. In terms of, I don't have any urgent items as such. I don't know if you, John.
This time.
Okay. Just a couple of announcements I perhaps want to mention. So, I mean, obviously, we're all very aware of the sad events that took place in London last week, where, tragically 2 people were killed and others injured. And John, you'll be aware that we had a brief conversation just to ensure that we were doing everything we can in West Yorkshire to monitor if there are any links or intelligence. But I guess it was just that bit of reassurance around making sure we've got everything in place that we can have at this time.
Yeah, so the national threat level remains as it was. We had an immediate response, as the rest of the country did, in terms of an increased presence of armed officers in places of high footfall. But we've now stepped that away, and we're continuing to work locally and nationally with the counter-terror policing network. So, yeah, as you say, sad events, and yet another reminder around vigilance and reporting.
No, thanks for that, and clearly I'm sure we'll be responding to any sort of actions or issues that come out of the Home Office or the Ministry of Justice, and we'll obviously be working with government and authorities around any of that. So thanks for that update. The other thing, just briefly to mention, so the issue of funding, of course, is always uppermost in our minds. A couple of letters that I've had very recently. One was an indication that the funding for the violence reduction units, which we are currently in the process of establishing in West Yorkshire, as it stands, the funding for that of about just over £3 million runs to the end of March next year, the financial year. But in the letter that was sent and copied into all Police and Crime Commissioners to Katie Bourne, who was the chair of the Association of Police and Crime Commissioners, from Kit Malthouse, the Police and Fire Minister, seems to indicate that that they will be committed to funding beyond or for at least another 12 months. And I'm pleased to say that it is included in the manifesto of the Labour Party as well, in relation to commitment around funding violence reduction units. So, on the face of it, that's promising, but we will clearly await to see the outcome of the general election. And then, on a similar related matter, and you'll be aware of this as well, John, that both of us have written back to the Home Office regarding the arrangements of what's called the uplift funding for new police officers, to indicate to them that we are indeed over-recruiting into some of those police officer posts this year. But of course, until we get confirmation of how funding is going to be allocated in the police settlement, it does leave us with some uncertainty and risk around balancing budgets for the coming year. So it was really just to highlight that and to really reassure people that we are doing everything we can to lobby and secure the funding that's required to increase the police officers in West Yorkshire.
No, welcome your support on that. Thank you.
Thank you.